Hello and happy Thursday. Hope it's a really good one for you. The sun is out, the snow is melting. It's a good day. Just remember, Christmas Eve is just a week away. Wow. Keep that in mind. You never know. I hope you've been good and there's no coal in your stocking. If it's cold, maybe it'd be something to burn. Never mind. Let's get on with it and get on into my little world. Come on in for a moment. Let's spend a little time together. Let me tell you about a fellow I knew. His name was Don. Well, Don was, when I came to know him, he was somewhat retired. That was easy to think and hard to say. Old Don was somewhat retired. He still did a few things. But Don had been a salesman. In his adult life, he'd been a salesman. He worked for the Electrolux company selling vacuum cleaners door to door. And Don was successful. Now, if you knew him, you wouldn't think he would be a successful salesman, but he'd done very well, made a very good income, had retired with a very comfortable life, he and his wife. And I got to know Don. He was a nice guy, but you'd think this guy was a salesman? He was somewhat reserved, quiet. If he was in a crowd of people, you might get him to talk and tell a story, but you'd have to really instigate it. He wasn't the guy that came into the room with the boisterous, outgoing personality that you think would win the day. But he was a nice guy. And one day, I was talking to him. He was talking about his sales and some of the things that happened, telling me a few stories. And I said, Don, I could have never done what you did. He said, oh, anybody could do what I did. I said, no, you were successful. You did so well. And I said, I don't think I could have ever done it. He says, yeah, you do that. He said, what you do, I couldn't do. But I said, anybody, a monkey with a wind-up musical instrument and a tin cup could do what I do. Not really. But he said, nah. He said, I really think anybody could do what I do. I said, I just don't know about that. And he said, here's what it is. I said, you just go to the door, you talk to them a while, you sell them, and you go away. And then if they need something along the way, you're always responsive and you take care of business. Sounded pretty good. I said, there's got to be more to it than that. I said, you were too successful. There are a lot of guys that sell door to door that never do that good. And he said, here's what it is. He said, I believe I had a good product, and I believed in the product, and I told people I believed it would benefit their lives. They needed what I had. He said, I held on to that throughout my career, and it served me well. I thought about that. You've got a good product that you believe in, that you believe people need, and you want to share it with them. I guess that's salesmanship. I guess that's the heart of it, maybe. I'm not a salesman, not in the traditional sense of the word. I'm always trying to convince people of something. Spent 43 years trying to convince my wife that she made a good choice in husband, and we're getting closer, but she still wonders. But in all seriousness, I thought about what he had to say and how this seemingly unspectacular individual, good guy, but unspectacular, could make such a career doing what he did. He said, now I couldn't do it today. This was at the end of his career. I couldn't do it today. So people don't want you coming to the door anymore. People don't want you coming into their house and displaying your product. They don't want to hear that you're at the door. And I know what he meant. I grew up in the age where they came to the door. Still the Fuller Brush Man and others were coming by. But he said, I couldn't probably do that today. But he said, I've still got my customers that I service from time to time and take care of them, provide the things that they need. Said some of them have been using my equipment for 20 years or more and still using it. And I still take care of them. I think that's why he was a good salesman. He was interested in the people, interested in their needs, and he believed in his product. Well, maybe there's something to that. But with the changes in our culture, the changes in our times, the hindrances that are out there every day, I think probably is hard to truly be a salesman. But this time is not all that unique. I think about the words of Jesus in Matthew 11, where he talked about himself and he talked about John the Baptist. And there in chapter 11, he says in verse 16, "But to what shall I liken this generation, this culture in which we live? It is like children sitting in the marketplace and calling to their companions and saying, 'We played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We mourned to you, and you did not weep.'" In other words, what do we need to do to affect you? We've tried what we know, and it hasn't had the kind of effect. Years ago, I heard a Bible professor from the college speak, and he talked about the message. And he talked about the Apostle Paul and his encouragement to the younger man Timothy. And he said for him to be urgent or diligent, to stay with it, in season and out of season. Not everybody's going to want you at their door. Not everybody's going to want to buy what you've got. And maybe we need to adapt our methods from time to time. But still, if we believe in the product, we believe in what we're bringing to people's lives, and know they need it, we can be good salesmen. Whether it's the gospel, the good news that's there, or an Electrolux vacuum cleaner, if you got the product, people do need it. The message of God, it's good news. We need to tell them. If you got the product and they need it, you can be a good salesman too. Let this be a good Thursday for you. I hope it's a great one. Believe in good things, and let's go out and sell something great today. Hey, glad to be with you. We'll look forward to sharing more things a little further down the road. Thanks for being with me today.